Greetings, fellow language learning nerds. Today you join me for a super serious topic. Pokies! For super serious grown-ups. Pokemon names in Japanese! Yes, today is a bit more of a fun topic. Basically, I recently have been going through the Pokemon names and finding out what they're called in Japanese, and I wanted to share a few highlights, one that I particularly like. Now, in case you want to do this for yourself, I promise to put a link in the description that's to the website that I was using. I was using the Bulbapedia, the Wikipedia for Pokemon, because he has all the information. But basically, they have a list of pretty much all the Pokemon. I think they're up to date, so they have them all. And when you click onto them, it takes you to their specific page, and it has all the information on that particular Pokemon. If you scroll down to almost the exact bottom of the page, it has a little section based on names in other languages. It has a little like a little box that has the names of, say, like the Pokemon in English, Japanese, German, French, Spanish, Chinese, and interestingly enough, each one has at least a little sentence explaining the English name, and almost all of them also have an explanation on the origin of the Japanese name, the Pokemon's original name. So that's where I've been spending my time. And that's where I got the idea for today's video. So I hope you enjoy me sharing a couple of Pokemon Japanese names. The Pokemon that I'm going to go through today all come from Generation 1. So there's definitely not going to be any appearing in later generations. This is why another reason why I put the link in the description, in case you want to check out the original names for some of your favourite Pokemon, because maybe they're not from the Gen 1 perhaps. But let's get on with today. Forgive me for I'm going to always be glancing over here because I've written notes so that I remember everything. Going through a bunch of the names, there are a whole bunch, you probably know this already, where the Japanese name and the English name are exactly the same. Pikachu is Pikachu, Ponyta is Ponyta, Caterpie is Caterpie. It's just the same name. There's also a couple of names where the Japanese name is more English than the English name. For example, Sandshrew, his Japanese name is Sand. And Pidgeotto is just Pigeon in Japanese, just called Pigeon. But some of the more interesting ones that I want to kind of highlight are ones where there's a similarity in the pun, or sometimes where the name is just super cute and adorable, and I want to know that Pokemon as its original name because it's just so much more cute. I will get to that in a minute though. So I wanted to start at the very beginning with Bulbasaur. He has a very cute name. In Japanese, let me get him. In Japanese, he is Fushigi Dane. Fushigi coming from strange or mysterious, and Dane coming from Tane, which means seed. So he is a mysterious seed. Having a name based on seed makes sense, right? Because he's a grass type Pokemon. But also his evolutions make sense as well as a whole. So Bulbasaur, Ivysaur and Venusaur, all their names start with that same Fushigi, that's word meaning strange or mysterious. But then the second part of their names, Bulbasaur being seed, Ivysaur being grass, and then Venusaur is flower. So it's kind of like with each evolution, their name grows with the evolution as well. And I really like that. I think that's really cool. I kind of like that in in English the name Bulbasaur. So bulb, obviously like being a bulb type of seed, you know, to do with flowers, that makes sense. Matching his seed name as well. And then the part, instead of like trying to bring over the strange mysterious part to his name, they're just like, "Rawr, dinosaur! It's a flower, but it's also a dinosaur. Rawr." Right in front of me on the other side of the desk is a window, and directly across the street is a bunch of neighbours. And if they were to look straight over right now, they could see me playing with my plushies. Okay, moving on. The next one I wanted to talk about was Ekans, which famously everyone kind of knows that if you read it backwards, it becomes snake, and the Pokemon looks like a snake. But this pun is actually the same in Japanese. So in Japanese, he is called Abo, which if you read backwards is boa, like boa constrictor. I just like that it's a pun of just reading the name backwards, and it works in both Japanese and English. I appreciate that. Next is a favourite of many people. It's Jigglypuff, Jiggly. Jigglypuff's name in Japanese is Puddin, Puddin, which sounds super cute, Puddin. But this is also a word for pudding, pudding, pudding. Which makes me think that if you like just jiggle Jigglypuff, is that why they named him Jigglypuff? Oh, probably. If you jiggle Jigglypuff, that maybe he'll jiggle like a little pudding, little like woo woo woo. Speaking of Jigglypuff, their evolution, Wigglytuff, whereas like Wigglytuff sounds very connected to Jigglypuff, sound very much the same. The same is for the Japanese version, where you had Puddin, Puddin becomes Pukurin. The slight change being that puku at the beginning, Pukurin. But I found out that according to the Bulbapedia, they say that most likely this comes from the word puku puku. It sounds adorable, and it means cute and chubby. I like cute and chubby things. I like it when things are puku puku. Puku puku, puku puku, puku puku, puku puku. I am a professional adult doing professional adult things. Thank you very much. Growlithe is a good boy, and his name in Japanese is Guardy, because he guards like the good boy he is. And speaking of Growlithe, his evolution Arcanine, his Japanese name is Windy, because he's fast, not because he toots. Drakedini! This name I like because, again, it's a pun that is kind of working in the same way in English and Japanese. So Drakedini is both the word for dragon and tiny, just squished together to make Drakedini. And in Japanese, his name is Miniru. Miniru is squishing together mini and ryu, which means dragon. So it's just the same, the word for dragon and a word meaning small. Just squish them together. Drakedini and Mini Ryu. Mini Ryu. Ryu. Mini Ryu. 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 The last two that I want to talk about, I just think their names in Japanese are super cute and adorable, and I just want to know these Pokemon as their Japanese names. Like they are immediately improved by having their Japanese names. The first one is Pidgey. Very simple Pokemon, bird Pokemon, but his name is Poppo. Poppo. How is that so much better than Pidgey? Poppo, Poppo, Poppo. Apparently, Poppo comes from the sound of like a pigeon cooing, and so he's a bird called Coo. Poppo, Poppo, Poppo. In a similar vein to Poppo is Clefairy, who in Japanese is known as Pippi. Poppo and Pippi. Oh no, do you have to go Poppo and Pippi? I'm a child. So yes, those are the names of some Pokemon in Japanese that I wanted to share with you because I think they're interesting, funny, or super cute and adorable. Popo and Pee-Pee. Again, if you would like to look up some of the Pokemon names yourself, there is that link in the description. But yeah, I'll link it directly to the list of Pokemon names, so you can just go find your Pokemon, click on their name, and scroll right down to the bottom where there's information about names. I recommend it, it's kind of fun, especially if you enjoy Pokemon. Thank you so much for listening to me indulge my inner child. I definitely had fun with this video, and I hope you did too. Hopefully I will see you in the next video, no matter what subject I'm talking about, whether it's a more serious language learning video or whether it's something fun like Pokemon names. Take care until then, and remember, may your grammar be structured and your vocabulary varied. Bye!